Hello you guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be bringing you my 2018 films ranked list. Today I'm going to be ranking all the films I saw in the year of 2018, all of the newer releases, not old releases. I saw 57 movies from 2018, lots of terrible ones, lots of great ones, and I'm going to be talking about every single one of them. This isn't going to be a top 10 list like I've done in the years past. This will be every single movie that I've seen. I kind of want to do something unique and different. Just not too many people do this type of thing. They always just do top 10. I'm going to do every single movie, so just, a chance I get to talk about every movie that I saw. So a few notes before I just start with the ranking, though. First off, there are indeed movies that I did miss that I will eventually watch, but for this ranking video, these are just the films that I saw from January 1st to December 31st. So if I do see a 2018 film in like 2 weeks from now, I'm not going to re-update this video and, upload it or whatever. This is just all the films I saw in the year of 2018. Also, like I said before, this is not a top 10 list. This is every single film that I've seen in 2018. So, we're starting out with the pretty terrible ones, and then we're going to work our way up to the awesome ones. And also, ratings do not matter in this list. There are going to be films that have like a 3.5 that are higher than films that have 4 stars. And there are going to be 4.5 films that are lower than 4-star films. So, ratings do not matter in this list. This is just purely entertainment and just overall quality of the film. That's how I ranked it, not based by rating. And since there's a lot of movies I'm going to be talking about, I'm just going to keep it short and simple, about 1 to 2 sentences per each movie. I'm not going to give a full-length review of each movie, because if that were the case, we'd be sitting here for hours, and I do not have that time. And also, many of these films on the list are interchangeable, especially the middle ones, more specifically films from 17 to 25, as well as films from 31 to 35. So those films that are in those entry places, a lot of those are interchangeable and could be switched around a lot very easily. And it's hard to rank a movie when you've got 50 other entries to put it into. It's hard. So some of them are interchangeable, like I said. Alright, that's all I've got before I start the ranking. Now let's get on with the ranking. Bland, disgusting, boring. It had a cool concept, but that's it. I'm actually surprised there was a movie that was worse than Sherlock Gnomes. Liam Neeson. What happened? This film came out in January. Need I say more? This was just mindless fun, not something I'd want to watch again. I like the 2 main characters in this movie, and there were actually some very heartfelt moments. But everything else, boring. This film honestly should be lower on my list. It was unfunny, super weird, and just plain boring. I don't know how they did it. This is just your typical run-of-the-mill kids movie. This is also just your typical run-of-the-mill kids movie. Visually, this movie looked nice, but everything else, kind of meh. It's okay. The action scenes were a lot of fun to watch, and it was nice to see Plop in something else besides The Office. There's fun to be had with this movie, but it completely stripped itself of the essence of what Yager's should be. That's something the first film did really well, and with Pacific Rim Uprising, not so much. This was actually a funny movie. Like, actually, this was funny. Again, this is just your typical run-of-the-mill kids movie. Not gonna lie, it did have some great moments. The acting in this film is pretty bad, but I'm not gonna lie, the visuals and the score were really, really beautiful in this movie. The movie that had the worst marketing this year actually turned out to be an okay movie. It had some really great production design, and I really love the relationship between the boy, I forgot his name, and the fakest looking wolf I've ever seen. Venom. Oh boy. Where to begin? I really enjoy the steampunk look and feel to this movie, and I think the score is actually really great. Everything else, though, it was okay. There's fun to be had with this movie, and overall, I had a fun time watching it. But what the heck? If the tone of this film was similar to the trailer's tone, this fun B-movie type shark film, I think this movie would have been a lot better. So apparently a lot of people hate this movie. I don't. I think it's fine. It was nice to see some actual effort put into a Tomb Raider movie. Alicia Vikander is great as Tomb Raider, and I had a really fun time watching this movie. A film that just seems to keep getting worse and worse the more I think about it and watch it. There's still fun to be had with this movie. Ant-Man is a cool character to watch on screen. This is just one of many films on this list that not a lot of people have seen, so go see it. I thought it was pretty darn good. This was a pretty interesting movie. I really liked the visuals. They were nice. Just a big ball of fun, nothing more, nothing less. This was the only film this year that I didn't immediately give a rating and review to, and after thinking about it for a while, I thought it was a pretty good movie. There were actually some cool moments throughout this movie, and I really did enjoy watching it, but there were just a lot of moments where I was just like, what the heck? This was a film that actually worked as a feel-good movie. I really enjoyed watching Instant Family, and I was actually surprised with how great it was. Paddington 2 proves that not all films that come out in January are trash. Very cute. Winnie the Pooh is just one of the most adorable things on this planet. This was a lot of fun to watch. Jack Black and Cate Blanchett do really well in this movie, and I really enjoyed the eerie tone of the film quite a bit. Great movie. I was surprised with how good it was. Trailers for this movie were not so good, and I loved the "Oh My Disney" sequence that happened throughout the movie. That's easily the best part of it. This is another film that not a whole lot of you have seen. Ben Kingsley and Oscar Isaac do really well in this movie, and I think this is one all of you would enjoy if you took the time to check it out. This film is very similar to Scene Street. I loved it for what it was, even though it wasn't a perfect movie. This is essentially the Iron Giant of our time, and I had a lot of fun watching it. Such a fun movie, definitely the best Ocean's film we've had. I've always loved the first Mary Poppins film, and Mary Poppins Returns was just as good. It was so magical and so wonderful. Go see it. This film was on Netflix, so you guys have no excuse not to watch this movie. I highly recommend it for you guys. It features one of my favorite scores from the entire year, and Jason Clarke does an excellent job playing Ted Kennedy. And the eerie tone of the film worked really well in this movie. This was a strange yet different movie, and I really liked it. I loved the story, and it was a fun, easy watch. I really enjoyed this one. Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali give fantastic performances, and even though this is kind of an Oscar Beatty film, correction, it is an Oscar Beatty film, I still thought it was a wonderful movie. Underrated. Such a powerful and emotional documentary. I caught reruns of his show all the time as a kid, and seeing a documentary about his life was just fantastic. Such a unique movie. I loved seeing the whole story being played out on a computer screen. I thought it worked really nice. Everything from the characters, to the score, to the story, makes Black Panther one of Marvel's best standalone films. Three Identical Strangers is honestly one of the most riveting movies I've ever seen. While it may not be perfect, Wes Anderson still does no wrong with his films. Isle of Dogs was a very unique movie to watch, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Now we're getting down to the top 10, guys. One of the most creative horror films I've ever seen. John Krasinski knocked it out of the park with this one. The biggest surprise of 2018 by far, and Lily James. Need I say more? This is such a blast to watch. The dialogue in this movie is pretty trash, but I just can't stop myself from having such a fun time watching Ready Player One. Waiting 14 years for a sequel to The Incredibles was totally worth it. And while it may not be one of Pixar's best films, I still had a lot of fun watching this movie. The fact that Sony went from Venom and the Emoji Movie to Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse surprises the heck out of me. One of the best animated films from the past few years, there's no doubt about that. Damien Chazelle has proven to himself once again that he's a fantastic director and that he truly does bring magic to the movies. Such a remarkable movie. I love the style to this movie, and Rami Malek shines as Freddie Mercury. I can't wait to watch this movie again. One of the best action films ever. And Paramount, please keep making these movies, and Christopher McQuarrie, please keep directing them. The boxing matches in this movie were pretty darn awesome. I love the story, with Drago's son going up against Creed's son. I thought it was a remarkable story played out on the big screen. And if it wasn't for some rough dialogue and acting, I'd say Creed 2 is a masterpiece. This has been the one film this year that has had the biggest impact on me. The last half hour of this movie is truly, truly remarkable. The score, the story, and the emotional impact it had was truly, truly remarkable. Can't wait to check out Avengers Endgame. So there you guys go, that was my 2018 films ranked list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this movie and that you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed the different approach I took to making this yearly video. Not doing top 10, just doing every single film I saw. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know some of your favorite movies in the comments section of this video, and maybe some of the worst movies you ever saw. I'd love to get you guys' opinions on those. Again, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys next time.